Let me invite Mr. Narendra Soda and Soda Sahab, if you can come and say a few words, we really appreciate that.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Prabir, for giving this opportunity. You can see my bio in the photograph here. I'm responsible for the smart grid technology implementation in the EHV sector, and through the Smart Grid India Smart Grid Task Force, the technology innovation or initiatives that are going in the distribution segment also. I come from Power Grid Corporation of India, which is the central transmission utility and the third largest in the world. And it has got a gross asset base of US $9.6 billion. It has got yearly turnover of 1.67 billion. We have a profit of around 1.37 billion before tax and depreciation. And the annual expansion program, the next year we have 3.84 billion. You can imagine the scale of operation that we have. And if you see, our company was incorporated in 1989 for transmitting bulk power. It is a central transmission utility and among the largest, third largest in the world. We have around 82,000 kilometers of EHV circuit kilometers, including EHV AC and HVDC lines. We have about 135 substations spread all over India. We are a listed company on BSE and NSE, and we have 69.42% shares held by the Government of India and rest by the public. We carry almost more than 400 billion units of power. Generated are around 800, so about 51% of total India generation is being transmitted through the network of Power Grid. And we have maintained the availability of our system consistently above 99%, which is perhaps the best in the world. And we are laying, for the first time in the world, 800 kV plus minus HVDC transmission system from our northeastern region to bring power from the northeast, pool of generation, mostly hydro pool, to the central part of India, to the low centers. And the length of the line is around 2,000 kilometers. And the power that will be carried on this transmission corridor will be 6,000 megawatt. It's for the first time happening in the world. We have also developed 1200 kV UHVAC system, and the test station will be commissioned somewhere in the August this year. And again, let me share with you that this is the largest AC transmission voltage in the world. So we are among the first one to introduce certain technologies in the world in the EHV transmission. And if you see our network today, we have around 3,000 kilometers on the 765 kV UHVAC. We have around 6,000 kilometers on plus minus 500 kV HVDC. We have around 62,000 kilometers on the 400 kV HVAC. And below 400 kV, we have around 10,500 circuit kilometers. And we have 10 stations of plus minus 500 kV HVDC, 104 stations of 400 kV UHVAC, and 20 substations of below 400 kV. The growth profile of Power Grid is tremendous. We are going to add almost double the capacity in the next 3 years compared to what we have added in the last 10 years. You can imagine the type of investment that is coming into the Indian power sector, particularly in the transmission sector. Since we are responsible for the transmission, so I will talk about transmission. And in my own segmental area, like where I'm responsible for developing the control center technology, the upgrades for the existing control centers is coming up in the next 2 years. And we are also setting up the backup control centers to take care of the disaster recovery. And the investment which is going to be on the upgrades of the control center will be of the order of around 600 crores of rupees, which works out how much?
600 crores. 600?
600 crores.
600 crores would be
6,000 million rupees.
In US dollars.
600 or 6,000?
600 crores.
The 600 crores would be about 150 million.
150 million. The best part was that for the first time, we are also asking the vendors to, look after the system for 7 years. Its life cycle cost. And since the power is such a subject, which is going 24/7, naturally we have to ensure that when we are changing over from the existing system to the, modernized system to meet the smart grid requirements also, we need to have minimum interruption. So what we are planning is that we will set up a backup control center first, put it on the bar, run the system is that, and then, do some modification in the existing control centers.
Thank you.
Apart from that, just one minute. Apart from that, particularly in the smart grid area, wide area monitoring system, VAMS, because India is a large country, you need to have a dynamic behavior of the grid. We are putting up phasor measurement units at different locations in the grid, and we have commissioned a pilot already. And more pilots are on in the rest of the regions. All over India, we are going to put up around 700 PMUs. And the best part is that once these PMUs start reporting the phasor data to the control centers, we need to have the analytics developed of them. And that is where there is a possibility of Indo-American exchange of views. We already have a panel of experts which we have engaged for advising us on this analytics and phasor measurement units and VAMS technology. So I can conclude with the word that we are already smart and we are trying to be smarter. Thank you.